Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session, Bridging the Gap, COBOL, Java, take it to the next level. With Node.js, Python, and Go. And today we've got three presenters. We've got Chadney, and then I think JC is going to be talking, and Bill, all from IBM. So a few little housekeeping things. I wasn't actually on here earlier, so I'm not too sure how the guys want to take their questions. Would you like them at the end, Chadney, or how would you like them? I can check the chat if people want to put questions in there and pass them to you at the end.
Yeah, that should work. We've kept Q&A towards the end. Yeah.
Okay. And then one very important thing is the feedback. If you could all take note of the session, which is 3F, and make sure that you give us feedback. We need this. It's very important to GSE and also to the speakers, so they know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong and how we can make things better, or maybe it's all wonderful, but we want to hear from you. So with that, I think I'll hand over to you, Chadney.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the introduction, Angie, and giving us the opportunity to present here on this forum. So just give me a second. I'm trying to get my slides back and forth, but it's somehow it's stuck. It's not working. So, okay, technical issues. I thought this was working for us. So give me a second. Do you mind if I stop sharing and come back?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, I think it just started working. So, okay, quickly getting into the agenda, and somehow it stopped again. I don't know what's going on. Give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Let me just reshare. I hope you can see the screen now.
No.
Yeah, I think there's something seriously wrong with my computer. JC, do you want to try sharing?
Yeah, let me try. Yeah. If they work. Yeah. Oh, I have the same problem. I need to restart. Hold on. I guess we are not used to Zoom, so.
Yeah,
we are having, like, I think there's some security update that happens every time we start using Zoom. So we'll try one more time, okay? Oh, okay. Let's try.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're seeing some kind of a screen right now. Angie, is there any other way we can manage this session?
I'm just seeing if Gino can help us actually. Just a moment. Do you all have a problem?
Okay, so JC, seems like JC can.
I think that's me.
Oh, that's you, Bill? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
So you can share yours, Bill? Is it okay for you?
So it's gonna echo?
You can just speak it. They can hear you from here.
They can hear me?
Yeah. Because
oh, okay. Perfect. Okay.
I'll just put that on slideshow.
Okay. You talk, I'll change slides.
Okay, I just need to give me a second. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, so for the agenda, there are a couple of things that we'll be sharing today. One, we'll start with first speaking about modernizing applications on ZOS, how you can actually align with our portfolio. Focus a little bit on the COBOL Java interoperability framework that's new on the platform, and then why would you consider these programming languages, some of the use cases around them, and even some solutions around these programming languages. We'll summarize everything towards the end, share some resources, and then go into the Q&A session right after that. So, okay, let's look at some of some of the application modernization patterns you may have heard about. From our end or from the industry as well. We focus a lot on patterns such as optimize, extend, co-locate, and refactor. So starting with optimization, we've got a very broad range of products within our portfolio. We've got COBOL PL1, etc. And then one of the recommendations is that to ensure that you have optimization of your application, you want to stay current with the latest hardware, latest IBM Z hardware, and keep your compiler technology, keep your middleware technology up to date, the most upgraded, so that you can enjoy all the benefits of whatever's in the latest version of the product, the new features and functionalities that are added for application modernization within those products. So because COBOL PL1 and these products are tightly coupled with the Z hardware, you can experience better performance, optimized performance with these products, right? So keeping them up to date is highly recommended. The next one is extend. So extending capabilities of your existing business critical applications. And I'm talking about, COBOL PL1, C++, Java, we always ship these products with some very nice, cool new features for application modernization. So every time, like I said earlier as well, you keep these products upgraded. That's when you can actually enjoy these new features and functionalities that are included for modernization in them. Developing new applications written in Node.js, Python, and Go. So we in this particular presentation as well, we'll actually dwell a lot on this, where you can actually develop new applications, interoperate with the existing applications. You do not need to start from scratch. You can actually build on what you have existing on the platform. Co-locating. So with Node.js, Go, Java applications, we recommend that because these are core applications and the data on ZOS is well established. It's available out there, right? So you can easily co-locate these applications and ensure that Give me a second. Sorry, just give me a second. Something happened here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'll continue with co-locate. The best thing to do is co-locating of these applications so that you can ensure there is optimized response time and throughput. There's reduced latency when you get these applications, existing applications onto the platform. I'll touch base on refactor a little in the next slide. So moving on very quickly to the next slide, which is our latest compilers on IBM Z16. So today we'll be focusing on the right-hand side of the box where you see Semaru, which is Java, Node.js, Python, and Go. And on the left-hand side, obviously, we've got all our traditional compilers. I did touch base on that, but we focus a lot more on the right-hand side, which is the open source programming languages. So we can move on to the next slide. Second.
I think they're seeing the right thing. You're seeing my screen right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
In existing business critical applications. That's the slide that we're on.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's showing in your screen doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Okay, so looking at this slide, right? Yeah. So this particular slide kind of summarizes everything that we have within the compilers and programming languages portfolio today, and it gives you like a nice picture of what are the options for you. What are the options when you come to modernizing your existing business critical applications? So a developer today has a choice to use the best language and is not bound by the language it was originally developed in. So the idea is to find a low-cost strategy, low-cost and low-risk strategy to promote the reuse of the proven software assets, and then deliver new enhancements to work with cloud or mobile applications. So if you see the middle column, it shows business critical applications, which you are currently running on IBM Z. They have been developed with these traditional programming languages like COBOL, PL1, Java, using IBM middleware like Kix, IMS DB2. Now, because they are proven and effective and they provide a lot of value, and because they provide a lot of value, it all can be unlocked. When you build on them, when you continue optimizing them for your hybrid cloud strategy or the digital transformation strategy you are on right now. They can be optimized to take full advantage of IBM Z architecture and extended to support APIs to improve connectivity and collaboration between applications. So if you want to enhance the capability of existing applications, you're not bound by that the original language that it was coded in. You can actually take advantage of the open enterprise languages that we have, like I mentioned, Node.js, Python, and Go, to also do that job for you. So for example, you can extend capabilities of a COBOL application with Node.js, Go, Java. You can also have a choice of using APIs or interlanguage calls to seamlessly work between these applications. And you can also develop new applications natively on IBM Z by using latest open enterprise languages on the platform. So you can take advantage now, because these languages are open and it's out there. They have they're popular. They are enormously popular in the market and in the industry right now. They're fast growing languages. And what you can also do is take advantage of co-location. I explained co-location earlier as well. And build, there are options like you can co-locate or even build microservices with these critical assets that are there on IBM Z. So that helps to, reduce your response time, increase throughput. And these languages also enable you to access a vast pool of developers that are already available out there in the market. And lastly, there's one very nice big portion that we've added, on the right-hand side. If you notice, we have what's the next code assistant for Z. That's a new dimension that we've been talking about a lot more now, and we've added that dimension to this chart because it is a dimension added in terms of modernization. The element that you can actually really use here is refactor to improve, maintainability and do incremental improvements. You can now get started with refactoring existing monolithic COBOL applications. Choose to either leave the refactored code in COBOL and start interoperating with existing assets, or use the new COBOL Java interoperability framework. So alternatively, you can also use the inbuilt generative AI technology to transform the refactored COBOL to Java. And so this kind of leads me to the next slide, which talks a little bit about the COBOL Java interoperability framework that I mentioned earlier as well. So as an example of the interoperability framework, you can now use the new COBOL Java interoperability framework enabled with COBOL 6.4. So that the slide actually shows like this really nice full picture of how that really works. So I won't dwell more on the technicalities of here, but the goal of this new framework includes making existing COBOL programs easily callable from Java with minimal changes, supporting calls to static Java methods from COBOL using simple call statements, making COBOL data items easily accessible for read-write access from Java, and providing comprehensive support for automatic conversions between Java and COBOL data formats, which then helps to reduce and often eliminate the need to make any JNI calls directly from COBOL code. So, and there's another important feature, which is interoperability. 31-bit COBOL programs can interoperate with 64-bit Java programs. So that you can handle the growing application modernization needs without the need of converting your entire application to run in an A mode 64-bit. So as it's indicated in the diagram there, and I would highly recommend to actually visit the new interoperability portal that we have built. It has a lot of resources. So it kind of takes you through the journey of how you get started with COBOL Java interoperability. All the tools are available on that portal. So that's where I've included the QR code if you want to scan that and get access to it. So quickly moving on to the next part of the presentation, which is introducing some of these open source programming languages. We call them open enterprise languages as well. I'm going to present Go, and then I'll pass it on to JC to present Python and Node.js. So starting with Go. Go is a fairly modern programming language. It's simply just 12 years old, and it has become a very popular programming language now. It's general purpose, and it's used for building large-scale complex software, and is a language for cloud infrastructure such as Kubernetes, Docker, and OpenShift. I can say that confidently is because We recently launched the container image for Go as well. I'll touch base on that, and in fact, we'll speak a little bit more about it towards the end of the presentation when Bill gets on to his part of presentation. So we do have a demo as well. So if we get time, we'll present the container part of it. And Go, as you know, is designed to be fast running. It's easy to learn. It has a simple syntax, so it's easy to understand as well. And it has a huge open source community out there. So one thing that we do best is that because Google decided to go and launch every 6 months, we said that, hey, you know what, we catch up to that, and we've been doing that as well. So we've been staying up to date with the community. We've been actually releasing a new version of this product every 6 months, and we call that the minor version. I won't get into that. It's all there on the slide, but I can't stress more how great Go is, how fast Go is becoming more popular today. Moving on to the next slide very quickly. Sorry, I'm jumping and I'm going very quickly because we don't have enough time to present. So we released Go 1.22 just a month ago, and like I said, every 6 months we have a release. And we launched a lot of new cool features and functionalities that were aligned to the ecosystem. But at the same time, we had a lot of features that we added that were aligned to the ZOS platform as well. We built specifically for ZOS. So we added some syscalls that are very Linux-like syscalls. So about 51 syscalls were added to this program here. And we also upstreamed a lot of Go tools that are available on the ZOS Open Tools site. We've got a blog about it. And then we also launched something about CGO callbacks. I'll explain a little bit more about CGO callbacks when we get into the next slide. So not just that, but at the same time, we also, like I said, we launched the Go container image that was in collaboration with the ZOS container platform that was launched at the same time. So Bill will give you a little more idea about it. So I can skip that for now. And we can just quickly get into the use cases part of Go. And we try to keep improving the use cases. So if you have any feedback for Go, we are happy to hear from you as well. But these are some recommended use cases or ones that we've learned over the years. So in-place modernization, that's one of the key use cases that we always talk about. So writing APIs, plugin wrappers. Users today can actually use Go to develop RESTful APIs to communicate, with existing services. Plugin code to hook into subsystems or wrappers, or adding wrappers to other APIs or services to support or extend existing business logic. And we have a very good use case for Go for that. It's pretty straightforward, but at the same time, we also have a really cool alternative, which is called GraphQL APIs. And there's a blog that I've listed here. GraphQL APIs actually have proven to provide a little better performance. So we have a nice blog written about it to understand more or dwell a little bit deeper into this idea. So as an alternative, to RESTful APIs. And as a reminder, Go has its own assembly language, which makes it easy to interface with 31-bit services. And that brings me to the next use case, which is interoperating with the middleware. So the second one on the screen right now. So related to the modernization in place, clients can write Go applications to communicate and integrate with existing middleware using ZOS Connect. So that's one of the key use cases that we have. We have something called Go Record IO module that is available on the IBM.com site. You can use the Go Record IO module as well to ensure that easy interface with MVS datasets or with vSAM datasets today. We have a blog also written about it, so you can read more about that as well. Our next big use case is about interoperability. So communicating and interoperating with existing business critical applications with using the CGO function. And CGO is provided out of the box. CGO is a package that allows Go programs to call C code. And CGO is a set of language utilities that allow for interoperating between Go and C. It allows to call into any C code during the execution of a Go program, as well as accessing definitions, constants. And this comes handy when you need to write a modern wrapper for a legacy C library in Go, as many other Go modules can do for you. There's something called WARF, There's an automated tool for porting, and this is something really cool. And we've made porting very easy for you. Bill is the expert in this area again, and he'll be touching base on this. So I can skip this for now, but look forward to listening to this from Bill. The next one is about protocol buffers. Protocol buffers are actually, language agnostic, and they provide seamless communication between programs written in different languages. So gRPC, we have an example of gRPC that is built over the protocol buffer. It's another alternative to REST API. So you can abstract as much networking and data serialization from the user as possible using this. And we have a very cool demo aligned to this particular concept as well. So do check that out. And last but not the least, we have using Go to develop fast and easy to use native command tools. There's a nice blog that we wrote about that, and because Go has a rich set of libraries for a lot of tasks, and you can manipulate text files, data, a lot of things that you can do today with in this area as well. So there's a blog about it. Please read that blog and do learn more about what we have on this use case slide here. And with that, I'm actually going to pass on to JC to cover Python and Node.js.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Yeah, my name is JC Yao. Sorry, I'm actually in New York, so I couldn't join Jenny in the office. So Python, just like what Jenny just talked about, in the Z environment, is an open enterprise language we have. Those are the popular open enterprise language to help you optimize and modernize your IBM environment, mainframe environment. So for Python, it's based on the open, the foundation, the Python software foundation software, and it's best for automate your IT infrastructure. And as many of you may know, that Python is also very popular in the machine learning and AI. So with this, we can help our client to use a rich ecosystem, which I think right now it's over 340,000 packages in the Python community. I'm not sure this is the most recent number, because I look at the website, it looks like some website shows like over 500,000. But anyway, you can see this is a very popular environment for the developer to develop the application for machine learning to automate the infrastructure. The current Python release is 3.12. That's based on the community edition. And those, I think we probably have one release every year based on the roadmap. And this is a no charge license product, but optionally through the Z Sharp, you can actually get the support and subscription if you need support for your software development and application deployment. So what's special about this Open Enterprise SDK for Python? This is enabled in the ZOS environment with the language environment, so you can work with other language in the 64-bit environment. And it's fully support the ZOS Unix system services. So you can run Python without any prerequisites. And it supports the Z environment like ASCII, AppStick, and Unicode environment. So let's move to the next chart. So what's new in Python 3.12? Some of you may be using the older release, but a key one I would mention here is in this release, we have 5 packages which are commonly used in the Python environment. Like first one, pip to install the Python package, and 6 to smooth transition from version 2 to version 3 and other utility. Also the C packages to help you to the foreign function interface and the encryption and the Python C parser. So this we think are the essential tools you need to run the Python Z environment. But in addition, we also have packages in the Python AI toolkits. I will mention more in later. Some of the packages we had previously in the 3.11, we moved to the Python AI toolkit now. So with this and the previous release 3.11, actually we enable the zip overload. What that means is when you run the Python workload, up to 70% can be eligible for the zip. So you're not using the general processor MSU capacity for your application. To many customers, this is a very cost-saving approach to run the Python application. Next page chart, please. So a common use of Python, I think, several areas. One is because this is a very agile environment, it's very easy to use. So for business transformation, it can help enterprise to transform their application, like what Jenny said earlier, to use the existing Z subsystems or data or application to either break into a smaller microservices or enhance them for their application, such as multi-channel or maybe enhance the data access. And this because of the package available in the Python environment, the package index, it helps you to quickly adapt the business IT needs you have and develop application. And another area is data science, which by itself, Python has a lot of package for like NumPy or other like math lab to help develop, adapt the business, the data science routines or the model to deploy quickly for machine learning. And actually, with that purpose, we also provide the Python AI toolkit for IBM ZOS, which is more a specialized, or I would say, selected package which we think are necessary for our client to develop the machine learning packages. And another area would be the MVS resource or subsystem programming. Now we have the Z Open Automation utility, which work quite well with Python to help you develop the connection you need for the ZOS, like use a data set or utilize JCL to do batch access. Another area I think is getting very popular is the automation, which because of the page we have available, and we can run Ansible, which I will describe later in the use case area to further describe how enterprise can use Python and Ansible to automate the task and to leverage JCL racks or the OS management facility to access to run the OS task. Okay, next page, please. Now, for some of you may know that the Python is very popular, right? And it has a lot of just like what I mentioned, the rich ecosystem and also the tools you need. But what that means to your enterprise is this can help you to deliver a faster time to market. What did I mean? What do I mean for that? Because with Python, is a more agile environment, so more skills available for application development, and with the rich ecosystem, this can build a quick prototype and do the DevOps to make application ready, available, and with the so from business side, this means a faster time to market. That can be a cost saving to gain market share, or maybe to promote your product faster than your competitor. And another area is the data analysis, because we all know that Z is the system of record, so it has a lot of data and application which a lot of clients are rely on to run their core business. Now with Python on Z, then you can do a much faster data analysis with the data readily available on the Z environment. And this can also minimize the potential data breach or the security risk, right? Because you are not exposing your data through the network to the outside environment, but you can do it all within the Z environment, which is more secure than a wide open environment. And lastly is the streamlining and the automation of the operation, because the Python and Ansible can help you to build a more advanced automation. So this means for the hybrid cloud environment, hybrid IT infrastructure, actually you can use the Python to help you to manage your operation more efficiently. Next page, please. The next language I want to focus really is the Node.js. Again, this is a very popular language. Many programmers are getting because to use this to do the data access or the programming. It's a JavaScript platform, but it's the server side. So Node.js can be used to do data-intensive applications, and I would elaborate more later. But the key is this is a module-driven and very scalable approach. So like what we mentioned with the other languages, this can help the enterprise to develop, utilize the existing Z application and data and make them more agile to the modernization, or with so-called digital transformation approach. The current Node.js is Open Enterprise SDK for Node 20. Now, you may know that for Node.js, they release new version every, so this is really a new version every time when we port. Now, the production is 20, and I think that our number actually is the test kind of environment. So we have 20 as the current release, and this is the same as the other languages, Open Enterprise languages. Is no license charge, but optional with SNS. And Node.js actually has a wide ecosystem, even more than Python. It has 2.5 million packages covering all application domains, and it's a very high growth rate. Next page, please. Now, as I mentioned earlier, a very unique point of Node.js is because of the JavaScript and the data access. So it can be used to access data for a very intensive data application. And with the IBM mainframe, we have a lot of data, right? DB2, IMS, vSAM, and also with the application like Kix, IMS, or other areas. So it can help help you to develop application to run to access those data and interoperable with those subsystems. And because it's used API connection, so it can help you to do the API orchestration to help you bridge the outside the hybrid, the cloud environment into the IBM Z, and in both ways. And it's very agile, so you can do the new application development for data IO intensive application. And one benefit of this approach is you can have the agile application reside on your mainframe environment. So it's co-located with the critical asset. So in many ways, not just to protect your data to prevent data breach, but also have much faster time in the response time and reduce the latency. So this can help you to modernize and use the access to do the modernization of your asset. Next page, please. So what's the value of the Node.js? Again, it's very useful for the data intensive and the microservice kind of approach. So it can help you to access the existing critical assets and in a very scalable and modular driven approach. So this means you can develop your application faster and expose your asset. Well, I should not say expose your asset, but help you to expand your access to the outside access in a controlled manner. So I mentioned the assets earlier about the KICS, DB2 IMS, vSAN, RegF, but other utility like ZOAU, zCrypto, Rex, and Zoe and Wazi. Those are the commonly used resource you can use Node.js to build and expand your application. And again, the value to your enterprise is really to have a faster time to market as well, just like Python or even Go, because of this agile development environment and the readily available development skills, you can reduce the application development time and the cost, and then help you to bring your application faster into the market to expand the market share or the wallet share from your clients. And because it can run on IBM Z, so you can protect your investment. Maybe you have your existing KICS application and you want to build web interface to accelerate the application development or to improve the client access. Now with the Node.js, you can do this and without how to say it, scrap your existing investment and build a new application from scratch. Because with the Node.js, you can actually expand and help the application to adapt and access the data in a controlled, protective approach. Next page, please. So let's look at some of the more detailed use case for these three languages. Next page, please. The first one is the Python. I mentioned earlier, with the Python, there's a lot of packages you can use with the not only the Python package index, but also the Python AI toolkits for IBM ZOS. And so this means that you can use ZOAU or the other packages to access your data and applications from the hybrid cloud environment. So a data scientist can or the data engineers can access the data and prepare the dashboard or visualization. And that's the beauty of the Python packages, because it not only have the models, but also the visualization and the cleansing approach for you to look at the data in a more productive way. Next page, please. Now, I mentioned about the Python AI toolkit, and I do and want to emphasize that this is a specialized package IBM team developed for Python and for AI applications. And it's very how to say that it's rely on the open source software foundation. And so when we select the package or based on the client requirement, we have the package selected. Then we go through the review and cleansing, and then finally we release to use to the right sites. So this is a very rigorous development process, and the beauty of this is unlike the public PYPI, there's you have a selected and cleans package that you have trust with the IBM approach, and this reduce the corporate risk of those open packages, because some may not be as trustworthy as like what we went through in a rigorous approach to select and develop, and we go through a security review to make sure that they can be used for an enterprise application. And right now we have about 198 vetted packages. And another benefit of this Python AI toolkit is with this you can have the zip workload eligible. So it can reduce the runtime cost when you run the Python application. Next page, please. And the other area I mentioned earlier about the automation. So as you can see from this picture, this can run a Ansible control node, which means you have the playbook written in YAML and with Ansible. But with the Python, actually you can write the routines and to use Ansible, and which can be consumed by Python in zeros environment to do automation. Like I mentioned earlier, JCL, Rex, and other automations. The procedure can be automated in a more modern way. Next page, please. So now for Node.js, as I mentioned earlier, the Node.js is good for data IO intensive. So, and it's used as REST API to access the backend, like COBOL, Kix, IMS, DB2, PL1, but it's also allowed the front end from the public cloud or in a private cloud environment to use the REST API to go through the node to access. So with this orchestration approach, you can have very effective way to access data and allow the web application or from public cloud or from your desktop to access the critical assets on the environment. And you can see that it's use the vsam.js or regapp or other approach to really have an authentic way to access data. So only the right people have the right access to the data. Next page, please. Another way we have been helping customer with our partner is the Zoe project. With Zoe, we have the interface, either command line or GUI, to utilize your existing Z assets to wrap the application for your environment. So this can be a very good approach to refactor your existing Z application. For example, you can break a big application and then make it into microservices or making a smaller element for to be reused or to be more effectively run in a control environment. Again, this allows you to have a secure access to the backend, but also have a rich GUI or command line interface to build your interface so you can build a discrete service, use the Node.js and to improve the efficiency of the operation. Okay, so I think that's I have for the use case. Maybe, Bill, maybe you take over for the Go section.
Sure. So the title of this slide is Go Microservices and ZOS System Services Access. So Go can be used for a wide variety of things, but it is a feature fit for microservices, which is one of the more common modernization patterns, is to take an existing service and deploy it as a microservice. And in doing so, Go does provide access to ZOS system services. For example, data sets, including vSAM data sets, we have a library called Record IO, which allows you to use full speed record IO in vSAN datasets, as well as the other datasets that you may have. We have the ability to call callable services, including 31-bit callable services, and we have demonstrated how you can use simple Go facilities to access RACF. And at the other end, you can access Go with gRPC, GraphQL, RESTful services, and a wide variety of ways to connect to your Go application. Now, Go is a compiled language. So Go is not interpreted. So Python and Node, for example, are interpreted languages. Go is compiled into efficient machine code. And by the way, it's memory safe. So unlike C, C++, you will never have a memory leak or memory reuse, memory a bug relating to memory use, etc. It's not memory safe language because it's a garbage collected language. Now, because it's a compiled language, and because it's extremely popular, in fact, depending on which survey you read, it may be the most popular language for new projects in the cloud. Yet, because it's a compiled language and often run on Linux, programmers often will put in, I'd say, idioms which are more architecture specific. And typically that architecture is an x86 architecture. So when it comes to bringing those modules and programs over to ZOS, occasionally they need to be ported. Now, I'll say occasionally because in the study we did of several hundred modules, we found that 83% of them work out of the box, approximately. And then the remaining, whatever that is, 17% may require some porting. But we're heading that off at the pass because we have developed a tool, and it's undergoing continuous development, actually, called WARF, which looks for all of those well-known idioms that we understand that people use when they're programming on Linux, for example, and provides the capability to automatically port those idioms into the ZOS version of them. And so we'll automatically port your program. And we're not claiming it's 100%, but it's a very useful tool. Now, Go was the very first programming language that was available in the ZOS native container. So I did want to talk to you a little bit about the native container platform. So containers have been around for quite some time, I guess at least a decade, on the Linux architecture and other platforms as well. And now we have them available natively on ZOS. So this is not ZCX where you're embedding a Linux operating system inside of a container running on ZOS. This is an actual ZOS container running ZOS native applications. And it's intended to leverage the IBM Z qualities of service, performance, privacy, availability, reliability, security, and to enable performance improvements through data affinity. Containerized applications essentially run as an address space in ZOS alongside traditional ZOS workloads. So you can have your traditional workloads running at the same time as the containerized workloads. Traditional ZOS security and resource management models are supported. The container environment is managed with system automation and monitoring tools, just as the rest of the ZOS environment. I've noticed, when we get new employees, they have only ever used containers. They're so familiar with it, they didn't know there was such a thing as not using containers. So now you can, as far as skilling up and getting new skills in, they fully understand what's happening with containers. They're ready to use it. In fact, they expect it to be there, and now it is there. And now we can embrace the modern DevOps model that containers bring to us, including automated CI/CD pipelines to improve efficiency and productivity. So here's a typical use case for containerized application, and this is for Go and the other other languages that may work in containers, but we're a little proud of Go here because Go was the very first one. So first thing, of course, Go can run, on its own, native, on-prem. And by the way, the best Go to use is the latest Go, because Go has the industry's strongest backwards compatibility guarantee. It is virtually certain that you should upgrade up to the latest Go, because your existing application will still build and will still run. And this is in the DNA of the language. Even if they add new features, they will not break existing code. So use Go latest. Now, in this situation, we have a containerized, the ICR.io is the global container registry for ZOS containers and basically all IBM containers. But it's also possible to have a local registry. So Christina here is a ZOS systems programmer, and she can pull an image of Go latest and deploy it into the local registry, which makes it available for local programmers. Deb is a ZOS application developer, so she's going to use the local registry. She's going to pull the Go latest image, and she's going to do her development. And now, of course, Deb is going to want to deploy. Now, here's the cool thing about containers, is that you can have a test deployment and a production deployment. And the production deployment can be very lightweight. So you can have all your development tools in a container, and when you do the deployment, you can actually ensure that what gets deployed is not all the development tools, but the actual application you built, slimmed down and ready for deployment across multiple machines and in multiple circumstances. So I'm going to spend my next, how many minutes? 2 minutes. There's a video that we put out. Sorry?
Unless there are any questions, I guess we don't have any questions right yet.
Okay, so I'm just going to scan. I'm not going to play the video because it's a 10-minute video, but I'm just going to talk about some of the highlights. So if I can get this thing to, is it going to show? Yes. Okay, here we go. So first part of the video just is essentially talking about these points. Many of them I've already mentioned. I also wanted to mention that there is a tool called Go Vuln Check, which you can put into your CI/CD pipeline, and it will tell you as you build your Go application, it will go out and look at all of you, not just your application, but all of your dependencies, and will explicitly examine them for known vulnerabilities. And there's a universally available vulnerability database that it accesses, so that it will tell you explicitly what parts of your code may be triggering a vulnerability, or hopefully your code is clean and free of vulnerabilities. That was an important thing that I wanted to mention. Now, here we have a program, not important, it's a demo program, but I wanted to show you that Go is always distributed in the form of modules, and every module has a file that tells you exactly what are your dependencies. When you get into the container, you will using a container file, which defines how the container is structured. And in this case, I won't go through all the details because I'm actually out of time. But when you want to build your application, you just say go build and then -o and the name of the executable. And then in the container file, you tell it what the application is that you built that you want to run when the container gets deployed. If it's a multi-stage build, you put an extra line in here that says, throw out everything except the real application. It's just an extra line in your container file, and you've got the lightweight deployment. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. I'm going to run the thing at some point. I'm going to maybe build you. If I built it, you would see that what makes containers very efficient is the enormous amount of caching that goes on. Okay, here you can see when I built the container, it's using everything that it could that it had cached. And this is why containers are better than VMs or LPARs, is that they're very efficiently implemented. And instead of loading up every VM with every dependency you need, et cetera, that's all available in cache and can be reused by every container deployment. And the last slide is A summary. Modernizing applications does not mean rewriting or replatforming. Ripping and replacing proven business critical applications with ZOS would be too costly or risky. IBM's approach is to let you continuously modernize applications and data on IBM Z with reduced cost and risk. Consider writing new functions using open source languages such as Go, Python, Node.js, or Java, and leverage open source package ecosystem, a large pool of readily available skills, reuse existing business and critical applications written in COBOL and PL1, interoperate in co-location with existing core applications, and seamlessly extend application capabilities without the need for intricate design patterns or significant development efforts. And that's their conclusion. Are there any questions?
There are no questions in the chat. Has anyone got any questions? Would you like to put them there, or would you like me to unmute everyone? I'll allow them to unmute themselves. I'll just give you another minute. Any questions?
So, Angie, we didn't get a chance to upload the deck to the portal because it was there's some error in uploading.
Right.
Can I share it with somebody on your team to ensure like the session?
You can send it to me, angie.stevens@gsc.org.uk.
Okay, sounds good.
And just a reminder for feedback, please remember to give us your feedback.
Yes, the session is 3F. So as I said before we started, it's really important to us to get your feedback. So please do this. So if there isn't anything else, this is the last session for today. Hope everyone's enjoyed the conference so far. And I think we start again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I'd like to thank our speakers for today. Thank you all, Chadney, JC and Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.